Hello, my name is Hayden Schmidt. I'm a technology integration specialist with Alvin Independent School District, and this is part 4 of Nearpod. In this part 4 section, we are going to look at creating lessons in Nearpod, and we are going to look at assigning those lessons that we create to Google Classroom. Those will be the two major portions of part 4. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to, from my Nearpod lesson library, click on Lesson in Nearpod as a way to create my own lesson in Nearpod. And when I do that, it pulls me straight here, which is where I'm going to be able to add slides to a Nearpod lesson. Those slides can contain any kind of content I want, from text and images all the way through the variety of Nearpod interactive elements. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show those relatively quickly. So I'm going to very quickly show you what it looks like to add slides and elements to a lesson when I'm creating in Nearpod. And I'm going to start by clicking the Add Slide. And let's say, for the sake of argument, that the first slide that I want to add is just going to be a slide with some content like welcome to the Nearpod lesson or something along those lines. So let's add a little text up here. If I'm interested in adding an image file, I can very quickly add either text, video, image, or a GIF. I'm going to pick an image. Let's go do a quick search for a liger, and I'll find a good, awesome picture of a liger. I'm going to say save. That's going to bring that picture in there. And if I'm ready to move on to the next slide, I'm just going to say save and exit. It pulls me right back out here and gets me ready to save another slide. I'm going to choose to add another slide. This time I'm going to add web content. And so I'm going to choose web content. The URL that I'm going to list is going to be let me do a search for a liger on Google. There should be a good Wikipedia site on ligers. I'm going to copy the link from that website. I'm going to paste that right there. I'm going to save that as a piece of web content on the next slide. I'm going to continue to add slides as I move down the way. Let's say I am interested in adding a vocabulary video. Let's see if they have a vocabulary video related to ligers. They have some, but none with liger. Let's try tiger hybrid and see if I get anything there. Nothing with tiger hybrid either. Let's just simplify things and go with tiger. And here is a video on the tiger. I will say add that vocabulary video. I next may be interested in adding a slide that includes a field trip, Tiger Island entrance. I like that one just fine. I can look around 360. We can pretend there's a tiger visible there somewhere. I'm going to say done and add that view into my field trip, into my Nearpod lesson. You can see how easy it is to add elements into a Nearpod lesson. You just click, and if you're ready for another slide, you can change the layout of the slide here. So you can have one element, a title and an element, 2 elements, 4 elements. You can import a background image for the slide if you would like a background image for the slide. You can record audio to include with the slide in Nearpod content, and that works like this. I'm going to click audio. I would like to use my audio recorder in order to make that happen. I'm going to allow it to use my microphone, and then when I click here to start recording, I will be able to narrate this slide for my students so that they can hear me deliver some special information right here in my own voice. And I can check that. I will be able to narrate and make sure that I'm satisfied with it. The title on this page can be here I'm going to add an image. I'm going to look for a picture of a teacher. Here's a teacher, save. New feature, teacher narration. I'm going to save that if I'm happy with the sound. It's going to take a minute to process it. I'm going to say save and exit, and it's going to let me go to the next slide that I want to add. For the time being, I'm just going to say save and exit. It's going to bring me back out to my lesson library. It's going to show me my new lesson that I have created in Nearpod right there. Now, part 2 of what we wanted to talk about is how to assign these to Google Classroom. So, there are 2 ways that you can make an assignment. If you want to use this particular lesson live with students in the classroom, that will give you control over the presentation on the student's computer. You will decide when slides advance, how much time they have to respond, and you will still have access to data at the end from each student in order to be able to assign a meaningful grade. But the live lesson requires students be either in the classroom with you or online with you in the same time, if not in the same place. Student-paced lessons will allow you to assign students work in Google Classroom that they can complete anytime they like. And they will take as long as they need to in order to complete those lessons. Student-paced lessons allow students to work whenever they want. Live lessons allow you to control the timing and when students are actually doing the work. The assignments are done similarly. If I click a live lesson, it's going to assign me a code, and it's going to let me take that lesson and send it via email or distribute it via a remind or by posting a link in my Google Classroom or by clicking directly on Google Classroom and allowing me to create an assignment directly from here. Come back to my lesson and create a student-paced lesson. These will work exactly the same whether I'm doing live or student-paced. I can say I would like to assign that directly to Google Classroom. It asks me to choose a class. I'm going to use a test class that I use for this kind of demonstration. I'm going to choose what I want to do with it. In this case, I want to make an assignment out of it. I'm going to say go. I can title that assignment anything I would like. I'm going to call it Nearpod Part 4 Assignment in order to be able to clearly differentiate this for deletion later. I can put any kind of detailed instructions I would like. I can, of course, assign a due date if I would like, going straight to a calendar and picking a date and even a time if I am interested. And I can assign that directly to that classroom just that quickly. Now, when I go to check on what that's going to look like for students, I can click on View. I go to Classwork, and there's my Nearpod Part 4 assignment. It's right there. It's not saved as a draft like I saved the first one, but it is ready to go. When students click on this lesson, they will be taken directly to Nearpod and into the lesson without any sign-in required. It will recognize them just like it's recognizing me if they are logged in to Google Classroom. So there we have part 2, the assignments. I'm going to go ahead and exit this lesson and confirm that I want to exit it. I wind up back here at my lesson library. And we are at the conclusion of Part 4. Do remember that in order to complete the coursework for Part 4's assignment, you need to attach a link to a Nearpod lesson that you have created in Nearpod. It can be short, demonstration, sample type lesson, include 3 to 5 Nearpod elements, just as I included as I went through and did the demonstration for you here in this video. Once you've attached that link, mark the assignment as done. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.